Hi friends, welcome to my video. As promised, this week I am sharing another one of my favorite summer beverages. Karkade is essentially a hibiscus tea. It's made from two ingredients, hibiscus flowers and a bit of sugar. I was happy to discover this drink last year when I traveled to Egypt, and it's served in most of the restaurants, almost every cafe. I drank a lot of it. You can even get this at the grocery store. If you're from the West Indies or the Caribbean, you probably know this as sorelle. It's essentially the same thing. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. A really refreshing karkade. As I mentioned, karkade is made from two ingredients, hibiscus flowers and sugar, but you will of course need a third ingredient, which is water. And after a little bit of research online, I found out that sometimes people steep their hibiscus flowers with a little bit of mint. Now that's optional, it's definitely not typical, but I am going to be doing that just for the sake of doing it. I had a little bit of mint from my garden, so I'm going to be adding it in. These are the hibiscus flowers, and you can find them in Asian grocery stores here in Toronto. I brought these back, however, from Alexandria. So I'm going to start off with some water. This is about 1.5 liters of water. It's out of my kettle, so recently boiled. But I'm going to bring this back up to a boil and then simply add in the hibiscus flowers. I should probably say that these are actually the sepals of the hibiscus flowers, but I'm just going to call them hibiscus flowers because that's more recognizable. Now, when you add the flowers, you're going to notice that they instantly color the water a very beautiful, rich wine color. Now, if you're adding mint like me, you can do it at this point. This needs to boil for 2 minutes and then immediately remove it from the heat. Next, it's time to sweeten with a little bit of sugar. I've only ever made this using sugar, but I suppose you could use honey or agave or any other sweetener of your choice. Now, I have this lemon here. I showed it in the beginning. I don't even know why it's here. I'm not using it right now, but I am going to show you how to steep this a second time. And in the second steep, we are going to use the lemon. Moving on, you have to strain the karkade. This is best enjoyed when it's cold, so it's a good idea to set this tea aside, allow it to come to room temperature, and then pop it in the fridge. Now you're going to be left with the hibiscus flowers, and you can use them again and steep the tea for a second time. I'm going to show you how because we're going to do it a little differently, so I'm just putting that away. Now the tea itself, once it comes to room temperature, as I mentioned, it's best served cold, so I like to transfer it to a jug. Mine is still a little bit hot, and then pop it in my fridge. The flavor of this karkade is tangy, sweet, vibrant. Mine was a little too strong. I had to water it down just a touch. But when it comes to the second steep, so reusing those flowers, you will not get as strong a flavor as you do the first time. So there are a couple things that we have to do to bring out some of the flavors, like adding a bit of cinnamon, adding some star anise, even adding some cloves in with the flowers when we do the second steep. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. We're still going to use some sugar, but we're also going to use a little bit of lemon juice. So here is where the lemon actually belongs. It belongs in the second steep. Now we're going to start out in much the same way that we did the first time, so using the same amount of water from a kettle that's been recently boiled. And to this we are going to add some of these beautiful spices, these whole spices that are going to add some depth and complexity to the second steep. Of course, we are going to add the hibiscus flowers. These are the exact same flowers that I used the first time, so no more, no less. They were in the fridge for 5 days, and now I'm reusing them. You need to bring this up to a boil, and the flowers will, of course, color the water, but not as deeply or as vibrantly as they did the first time. You can actually let them boil for like 3 to 4 minutes before you add the sugar, since they're not as punchy as they were the first time around. It's okay to let them boil for a little bit longer. And then once you've turned off the stove and it's done boiling, add the sugar, add the lemon juice, and make sure that everything is nicely combined, that sugar is beautifully dissolved in the karkade. The lemon juice is just going to help lift those flavors a little bit. That tanginess that is so punchy from the first steep is somewhat diminished in the second steep, so the lemon juice really helps to bring that out. I hope you like this video, and if you do, give it a thumbs up. Also, give this drink a try if you have access to hibiscus flowers. If you are Egyptian and you know this drink, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how you think I did. Correct my pronunciation. And until next week, I hope you are staying well. Bye-bye.